What if I told you that the solution to pollution-free vehicle emissions have been around since the beginning of modern science? Now, when I say pollution-free, I mean it. Imagine having fuel so clean you can just as easily drink it as you can travel the universe. This is the same stuff NASA used to launch Apollo into space and also hydrate their astronauts simultaneously. This is the magnitude of a hydrogen electric fuel cell, and it can decrease the carbon footprint on Earth as a renewable replacement for gasoline and motors today. Let's break it down. Hydrogen fuel cells are an old idea with new potential. Fuel cells have been around since the 1800s, and they are essentially a big battery that is constantly fed with fuel. In 1889, the term fuel cell was coined as a way to produce electricity using hydrogen and water in controlled states. By 1960, over 70 years later, General Electric produced the fuel cell-based electrical power system for NASA's Gemini and Apollo space capsules. The initial delay in the use of hydrogen electric fuel cells was due to lack of proper storage for the gaseous element. Modern fuel cells have significantly improved since then. By 1993, fuel cells had been used to power a bus for the very first time. The technology has become so advanced that Iceland has made plans to create a hydrogen economy between the years 1998 and 2008. This means that the country would rely marginally on hydrogen to deliver a large fraction of the nation's energy and services, to minimize the carbon footprint on motorized vehicles in the country. Once a too good to be true idea, there are now 47 hydrogen fuel stations for everyday vehicles from common makers like Toyota and Daimler-Benz in California alone, and are used more commonly than ever before. Hydrogen fuel cells are one of the most efficient and newly affordable green alternatives for motorized vehicles on the market. Hydrogen fuel cells only release heat and water vapor. The way it works is that hydrogen and oxygen are put into separate chambers of a fuel cell and chemically stripped of their electrons. This process creates a positive charge that, when brought back together, generates electricity. The emissions from hydrogen fuel cells are so safe that NASA's astronauts have been known to drink the product of these fuel cells in transit. Fuel cells are much more practical than they had ever been previously. It takes significantly less fossil fuels to create hydrogen electric fuel cells than it does to power motors with petroleum gasoline. It costs just over $1 for a gallon of hydrogen fuel, whereas gasoline costs on average around $2.32, according to the United States Department of Energy, and each gallon will take you on average 50 miles further than petroleum gas. Toyota has released their hydrogen-powered vehicle Mirai at a comparable cost to other leading car manufacturers with incomparable environmental benefits. To conclude, hydrogen electric fuel cells are a feasible alternative to traditional gasoline and even electric vehicles such as the Prius. It is still being revised into a more readily accessible resource, debunking the same storage problems that were faced way back in the 1800s. With only releasing water and heat, the emissions from hydrogen fuel cell vehicles create virtually zero threat to our air pollution, and they could potentially help minimize the carbon footprint we put onto our planet.